good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Rangers Radio. As thousands head up your sun-soaked Ibrox for asking the questions. Can we take points today, full points, and take advantage of the slip-ups elsewhere in the SPL? On the panel today, I've got a good close personal friend of mine, our pal, Blue Shadow. Afternoon, Shadow.
Afternoon, Andrew. It's good to get you back in the chair, my friend. As you say, it's a fantastic opportunity to close up on the top of the league. I mean, Clark got a point yesterday, and it looks like the man came off are going to drop points this afternoon. So, team have got to be on 100% and come out the tunnel and give us the victory that we require to close towards the 55th title.
Bang on, mate, bang on. I was interested in Steven Gerrard's comments the other night when he mentioned this game was more important than the Villarreal game. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. I think really he was maybe concentrating on the Europa League, as was perhaps borne out by when he went 3-5-2 for me to give his wingers a rest so they could play in Europe the other week. And I think that he's perhaps switched over his focus to the league now. What we get in Europe will be what happens in Europe, and we've got to get closer to the top of the league now in order to stand any chance of winning it.
A bit of pressure on, mate, it never fails. Can I remind everybody you can call in if you want to play at 0141 352, what is that, 356 1972.
Well,
sorry, my bit ring rusty. Some of the guys are saying that the intro music is still playing, OSB, if you could sort that out. But anyway, here's the team for today. Rangers: McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Katic, Flanagan, McCrory, Arfield, Koulibaly, Candeas, Kent, Morelos. And on the subs bench, it's Wes Foderingham even, Doran, Zajaria, Worrell, Lafferty, Halliday and Middleton. I thought Middleton might have got a wee start today, Blue.
I think there was a fair chance he could have got a start today, but as Oxier was saying the other night, I think perhaps the game against Ayr, he might come out for his first start. A little bit less pressure. If things didn't work out, it's not quite so important as it is today. I mean, as regards the rest of the team, I think that's pretty much as strongly expected. I assume Mr. Barisic is carrying a wee knock from when he got substituted the other night, so Mr. Gerrard's just keeping him nice, wrapping him up in a bit of cotton wool and making him safe, because he's a very important player to us. As regards the rest of them, we've got it's interesting, young McCrory gets the start in front of Ajaria. I mean, I don't know if Ajaria's coming back from injury. It could be one way or other, but apart from that, it's probably the strongest team we can put out there.
I think you're right, Shadow, but I must admit, the more I see Borna Barisic, the more I like him. I think he's a really strong player, and so he's got that final ball we've been lacking for a long time, absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant player, I think, and I think he can go in for a long run in a Rangers jersey, that boy. Like yourself, interesting to see McCrory coming back in as well before Ajaria, but I think this is part of him trying to freshen things up from Thursday night's exertions,
I think it might be, and as I said, it's something I'm not disappointed to see, because with playing, certainly, I mean, there you go, we got Thursday, Sunday this week, and then we got it's League Cup on Wednesdays, isn't it? We've got so you think, and then we're back to Thursday, Sunday the following week. So there's an awful lot of football to be played, and we need to get as many players up to first team capabilities as we can. And as is borne out, we've got Doran. There you go. Doran's back on the bench there. He'll probably see some time today. Wouldn't surprise me if we see a bit more of young Mr. Worrell there, if we can. Halliday will probably come on at some point and keep Morelos fresh as well. I think, and also Andy Halliday's been playing a lot of football recently, so he's getting a wee rest today. So Mr. Gerrard and his team are showing that we've prepared to change things in order to keep people fresh, which is what you've got to do these days.
Mate, I think that's bang on. I'm just hearing here Kilmarnock have taken a 2-1 lead
Oh, that'll be, oh yes. There'll be celebrations in the road there. You know the big Aaron Ayrshire, isn't there?
Aye, well, I'm interested in hearing, I like how he's playing young McCrory, for instance, to use him as an example. I think last year, our previous management tenures would have burnt that boy out before he was 30, I'm really glad that he's trying to preserve his team as well, particularly, you look at Dorans, he was out for nearly a year. Come back into the team there the other night, and I was also amazed they dropped Katic and brought Joe Worrell in. I was, oh my goodness, what a debut for any player, he goes straight into a European tie, but there you go. But delighted with the result the other night. I thought it was an effective performance, but they've got to take that form into today's game, and I think Stephen Gerrard got it right when he was saying that today's game is more important than, the Villarreal game, so happy to see it. But we've got to go out there now and capitalise. We're just getting the score coming through for their game, and I hope he batters that into them in the training, in the dressing room. You've got to get out there, no excuses, it's got to be maximum points. We've got a bit of ground to close, so let's start do it now. So we'll see what happens. And, I know it's very early in the season. I hate people saying that. You can win a league in the last minute of the last game of a season, so, but you've got to pick up points early on to finish that and to give yourself a really good chance. But there you go. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, you can certainly win a league in the last last game of the season. You can win a league, but you can lose a league an awful lot earlier than that.
Aye, definitely, and that's why I'm saying, he's got to drum home to them and score the day. Hearts dropped points yesterday as well, and we've got to capitalise on that. But I'm interested in the team again as well. Look, I'm not a great Tavernier fan. I've never made a secret of it. To me, I'm an old-fashioned guy. I think a right-back's a defender first and foremost. But this is a modern game, and this is why I'm referred to as a dinosaur. But I just, with the team and the rotation thing, I've never been a great fan of it. But then again, you're brought up, you can name the Rangers team week in, week out kind of thing, But you look, McGregor, Tavernier goals, and Katic comes back into play as this Flanagan. Is that too much disruption in the back row for you?
For me, it's not, because they played so many games at the start of the season, True. I think, so they know each other's game very, very well. And also as well, I mean, you've got cover there with McCrory and Koulibaly, who work up and down the park, as we know. Mm-hmm. I don't think that we've been seen a better example of a box-to-box midfielder than that at Ibrox for a long time. The one thing which, if we're talking about our strongest of teams, if Ryan Jack was available, I'd have Ryan Jack in there, because he makes such a fantastic job at covering for Tavernier in particular. He just seems to know that, you've got to keep an eye on him, because he's going to disappear up the park at some point. And it's something which he seems to have made his personal territory to cover that side of the park for him. So that's great from him. I hope the lad's gets fit again soon, and we see him back on the pitch.
Yep, definitely.
Getting a wee true. That's it.
Sorry, it's one of my fans phoning in. Anyway, talking about phoning in, you can call in 0141 356 1972, or alternatively you can use Skype. If you Skype rangersradio.online, old school blue will bring you straight into the call. So get on here, give us your predictions, tell us what you think of the team, how important it is to get the points on the board today. Anything you like, as long as it's Rangers related. But there you go. Interesting to hear your point there about Ryan Jack. Shadow, I wasn't sure about the guy when he first came to us, but I think he's grown into the Rangers jersey. And I think, like yourself, he'd be the first man doing the team sheet for me every week. Gives everything he's got. He's got a habit. He's like a striker at the back. If you like, he's always seems to be in the right place at the right time. So, absolutely delighted with his form as well. Do you think he'll be a... Sorry?
I think it was another Mark Allen signing, don't you?
Well, aye, could have been, could have been. Having said that, we've got Koulibaly in there today in Artfield. I really like the look of Koulibaly as well. I think he's a fantastic player. And again, he covers more miles than an aeroplane. Absolutely fantastic. But again, the importance must be rammed home. It's maximum points for here on in. Particularly when your rivals slip up. That's what we've got to be doing. But again, Koulibaly, your thoughts on him, mate?
Oh, it's been a big fat. Ever since we're a couple of games in, I thought, there's definitely a player in there. He's the player that we've been looking for since we were supposed to be signing that John Eustace, and that never worked out. And he's the player that we've been looking for to fulfil that position. He's not only just, he's got a fantastic engine. He's strong in the tackle. And we're starting to see other parts of his game now as well. He gets himself forward. He can get a goal. His distribution is not bad. It's got a wee bit more to go before it reaches the levels, the top levels which would get him into, the top teams in the country, in Europe, shall we say. But if he gets that part of his game thing, mate, I think we'll struggle to hold on to him. I think he's a fantastic player for me.
Well, I've heard if we not get an option to buy, if we not get first option to buy in terms of Koulibaly.
I've been hearing that as well, but was that the sound of us just being joined by our first caller there?
What was that? I've missed that one. Afternoon, caller. How are you?
All right, guys. It's Rudy Bear.
It's Rudy. Am I supposed to ask you what you had for your breakfast?
Nothing yet, True. I'm just in the door about 10 minutes ago there. I've been out working all morning, so... Anyway, I've just seen there, my mate sent me a wee text, the Filth get beat the day, so it's now incumbent upon the Rangers players to get out there and get the 3 points today. You know what it was like last season, guys? Every time they messed up, we couldn't...
We messed up.
We messed up as well, right after it, True. We really did. I don't think there was once last season, where we went out and got the 3 points after they messed up. Well, we've done it last week. We got the 3 points. Today, it's imperative we get the 3 points now. Really is after that result earlier there, And I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
I think Stephen Gerrard will be fully aware of that, pal. But I think you're dead right. Historically, we have, if any of our rivals slip up, we tend to do the same thing, They make a big deal of this, I mentioned it earlier, the exertions a Thursday night. How great an effect do you think that has on a team?
Not so much this time, I don't think, True, because, it's like getting on and off a bus going to Spain nowadays, isn't it? And don't get me wrong, it was a hard 90 minutes for the guys, I thought it probably did have, when we had to go all the way to Russia and then come back and play them, a couple of days later, sort of thing. I can imagine that because that's a long journey, I would be hoping today, True, that not so much today, simply because it's a much shorter journey. I know we had, the exertions of the 90 minutes against Villarreal on Thursday. They put a lot of energy into that, the lads. But I don't know. I'm not so sure. We've got players now who we can bring into the squad who can affect the game now, True. That's the thing about the squad now. We've got a good squad now. We've still got players to come back as well. So hopefully not so much today. I said it the other night, Friday, I think if we play, with the quality we've got, True, if we play, we win the day. It's as simple as that for me.
Aye, well said, mate. But, on that point, we were talking earlier, Shadow and myself, we were talking about Katic coming back into the team.
Aye.
No only Katic, who else was it?
Flanagan.
We were talking about them coming back into the team as well. And they all seem to be playing to a system, and they're all aware of what their duties are, what they should be doing, what their positional sense should be as well. But you mentioned guys that can influence a game. Now, on that respect, I think, you can't argue it. Young Middleton come on the other night there and had an amazing effect on the game. His pass, for the second goal, laugh at his goal. That was a classic goal. I thought it was a wonderful goal. But, he's a guy that can certainly influence a game. And I noticed today's team, Candace has come back in to his expense.
Yeah, and I think that's a wee bit of a shame, really, because I think he's must be very close now to that first team start for me, True. When he came on, I thought he affected the game brilliantly on Thursday night. He's 18-year-old, he's got pace to burn, he's direct as anything. You know, and he's absolutely no fear for an 18-year-old. He doesn't care who he's up against. He just wants to play his football, take them on. Fantastic young player. I mean, that pass, as you say, for Barisic, you know, and Barisic still had a fair bit today as well.
Aye.
So it was a great team goal, as you say, through. But young Middleton, for me, I just think he's, you know, another season under his belt, you know, this season, but he's sort of 19, 20-year-old. If we can keep we'll have to keep a hold of him, that's the thing. I think he's going to be exceptional for us too, I really do. But he must be getting very close now to a first team start, surely. You know, if maybe not today, then maybe during the week in the cup game against Ayr United.
Definitely a shadow. Young Middleton for you.
Yep, I can see young Middleton coming on the day. I think we'll see about an hour from Ryan Kent after his exertions on Thursday night. And I think we'll see him come on then. And I can similarly see he seems to have been bringing Koulibaly back quite slowly, and I think we'll see an hour, maybe a little bit more from Mr. Koulibaly, and then we'll see perhaps Graham Duran's spit it out there, come on, and we'll see a bit more from him. Give him half an hour, and basically, you know, further his comeback, because I think Mr. Gerrard rates him quite highly.
Aye. I think as well, you know, I think Andy Halliday's come into that reckoning as well in terms of Stephen Gerrard and how he rates people as well. But I'm interested in what Rudy was saying there, you know, about hanging on to young Glenn Middleton. Now, I think the days are over maybe when we lose somebody like David Bates. We lost him to Hamburg for no fee or anything else. So I think they're shrewd enough. They've just done it with Tavernier there. And Morelos, you know, interest getting shown, so let's extend the contracts here to make sure we get a payoff. So I think they're starting to get it right in that department as well, Rudy.
Aye, and they've done it with some of the younger players, I think, the beginning of the season as well. I think McCrory got an extension as well, if I remember right. Maybe one or two of the other young players. I think the days are gone now, true, where we're going to lose players for stupid money, really. You know, I mean, look at Barry Mackay, for instance, down to Nottingham Forest. What was that, about 500 grand or something like that? You know, something ridiculous like that, you know. You know, you can say what you like. I mean, some of the players weren't too happy with Barry at times, but he's a quality player, you know. He's moved on and done really well. David Bates, you know, off to Hamburg, and by all accounts, he's having a really good time out there. He's playing really well. You know, the fans really like him. I was reading a wee thing about him the other day, so they seem to really like him. The players that we've got, you know, to add them to the, you know, to, as you say, Tavernier, Morelos, guys like that, you know, who you think, well, there already has been interest in them already. So you get them on you extend their contract, you get them on a longer contract. It means upping their wages, because if you give them a longer contract, you know, and you're telling clubs they're worth, you know, so many millions, you have to pay them accordingly as well, true, obviously, you know. But aye, it's no longer are we going to lose. We're good players for next to nothing. It's just not going to happen any longer. And hopefully there's a wee bit of, hopefully there's, you know, they're thinking behind the scenes about young Glenn Middleton, because I really do think he's going to be a cracker, true, I really do.
Well, he's already hitting the first team. He's got European experience at his age, you know.
Absolutely.
Blue Shadow, you think we're starting to get it right on the admin side, getting players that there's a possibility of selling on, getting them in long-term contracts, you know, as opposed to the David Bates situation?
I think with the David, you know, generally I think I agree, yes, we're getting it right. But I think there was a little bit something extra in the David Bates situation, in that we just as you mentioned, put McCrory, and I think there was somebody else we put on longer contracts. And then I wonder if Mr. Bates was asking for a bit too much more than they were on, so we'd have to look at their contracts. And and the club went, no. We'll give you the same as we're giving McCrory. If you want more than that, then you're going to have to go out the door. And I think perhaps there is a bit of wisdom in that as well, because we can't go out playing young players with limited experience. You know, the same as you know. an international fullback, or like Barisic or whatever, or young Goldson or whatever, who's played in the Premiership. So I think we can't be pushed around by the young players, but I think we should try and certainly do everything we can to keep them on the books. And I think, as it's shown, I think there's been a bit more speculation with the players that we've been bringing in. Certainly this season, I was surprised that we have backed the manager Stevie Gerrard quite as heavily as we have, but it's a good thing to see. And I think with the extra revenue that we're generating from Europe, they've gone and loosened the pick, and brought in that young lad Grezda and loosened the purse strings a bit more, which will also allow finance to help keep players a bit, hopefully keep these young players that are showing promise on the books a bit longer.
Aye, well said, mate. Good summation. How do you think St Johnstone will set up the day? Do you think it'll be 10 behind the ball, try and hit us in the break?
It'll be Parks at Hamilton. They'll be going to see Parks at Hamilton, won't they? They'll be playing the same way as they've played for the past few seasons. Very defensively, and they'll probably have two right pacey guys sitting in the middle of the park. That if and when they get the ball off us, they'll try and hit them and allow them to burst up the park. But I think they're not going to get as much joy, or we should even have as much fear as we used to in the seasons past, because we've got a lot more pace at the back than we did previously.
Aye, what about yourself, Eddie?
I think they will try and sit in and try and hit us in the break, especially for about the first 20-30 minutes of the game. I think they'll try and keep it tight in the back, try and stop Rangers from scoring. Sometimes that gets the Bears on the backs of the players a wee bit, but they've got to have a bit of patience today, because as you say, the big game Thursday night through, so they need to show a wee bit of patience, because I'm sure the one will come. I think they will play like that, because, and you have to kind of, hold your hand up to them as well, though, through they've been pretty successful at Ibrox in the last couple of seasons with that, so they maybe look at that again and think that's the way to go. I mean, we've got pace in the flanks, so they'll look at that and they'll probably just sit with 5 at the back, I would imagine, and then try and hit us on the break, or maybe just sit with a 4-5-1, and then, they'll just thing me the midfield, jam the midfield up and just try and stop us from playing through them, and then hit us in the break. But they've got pace, though, that's the thing. True, they have got pace, St Johnstone, watched them last week there, and, they've got a fair bit of pace, and they've not done great this season, but they're doing all right, but we should have the quality to break them down if they try and park the bus against us. True, we really should have.
I think that's maybe why as well. Likes a young Middleton, he tends to be, he's a traditional winger, if you like, for want of a better term. I think that's maybe why he's kept Kent in and kept Candace in, because they tend to come inside, When a team plays, 10 at the back, there's no space to get in behind, and I always argued that kind of approach to the likes of Kenny Miller, who played in the shoulder of the last defender and tried to get through that way, When the shoulder of the last defender's hanging near their own byline, you've not much room to go anywhere, So I'm thinking that's why he's maybe, he's come back in with Candace and Kent on the other side, because they cut inside, and that's what you need. You need players who can make that pass as well, Thoughts on that one, lads?
Well, I think Stevie G said the other day, he was talking about, when he done his presser with young Middleton, he was talking about, more or less said, look, he can't. We're going to coach him not to just stick to the wing. He's got to come inside and get involved and play more, So that's maybe a thing that he's going to learn as time goes on, But I would have him, I would play him, certainly the last 30 minutes if we're looking for a goal, because I think he's an absolute nightmare for defenders today. He truly is. See, with the pace that he's got, he's just, I was a right back. I would have hated, in fact, I actually did play against one guy who had pace like that, and see, for about 2 nights before the game, I couldn't sleep thinking about him, because I knew what he was going to do to me, So yeah, he's an absolute nightmare, young Middleton fall back. So I would certainly play him today. At some point, if we're looking for a goal, get him on the park, because he'll create chances, and he showed last week as well he's capable of getting in. He was in the middle of the box there, true involved and stuff, and he got his goal last week as well, which was great for him, scoring his first goal for the first team. That was fantastic,
Aye. Yourself, Shadow? You think that's possibly why he's retained Candace?
I think so. I think one of the main reasons that he's I am here is one of the main reasons he's kept Candace is the fact that he links up normally so well with Tavernier, and seems to, Thursday didn't play the full match. So that would be wise to bring him. I agree with, as I've said earlier, I totally agree with Rudy. I think Glenn Middleton will come on, and I think Duran's will come on. And I think we might have to, unusually, I know how good we are at it, but I think we'll have to be patient this afternoon. But as I said, as you were both saying, I think they're going to come in, they're going to park the bus and hit us on the break and stifle the midfield. So it may take us a wee while just to get through them, and it may take on bringing some additional creative players like Graham Durans and young Middleton, who seems to be in top form these days.
It was a huge shout, Blue, wasn't it, on Thursday night to bring Dorrans on after being injured, after being out for so long, wasn't it? I mean, it was a massive game for us on Thursday. And Stevie G brought him on. What a big shout that was. But the brilliant piece of skill he showed to set up Arfield. See if Arfield had scored that, what a result that would have been. 3-2-1 in Villarreal. I know they could have won it as well. They had a couple of really good chances in the last few minutes. But I thought Dorrans, he was pretty impressive when he came on, I have to say. I thought he got involved really well. And as I said, that pass, that wee bit of skill, going by a couple of players and getting the ball into the box. But if we're going to play Dorrans, that's the kind of position, Blue, we need to play him in. He's not a defensive midfielder, Graham Dorrans. He never has been, 10 years in the English Premiership, and he's an attacking midfielder. So you need to play him up there to get on the edge of that 18-yard box, to get the best out of him, basically,
Yeah, I said that the other night, and I also, along with the young lad that we sent out on loan down to Shrewsbury, I think he's no defensive midfielder neither. So they've got to play. It's all very well having players fill in when you're short in other positions, but apart from that, if he's an attacking midfielder, didn't play him in defensive midfield. No. It's just crazy, unless it's an absolute emergency. And even then, I'd be perhaps looking at the guy in the under-20 squad to see if he's up for it or not, rather than doing something like that. But I think I can't see Mr. Gerrard doing that anyway. I think he brought Dorrans into the squad because we were a little, Ejaria was injured and everything, and we knew he was coming back. And I think he probably brought him back that little bit early because we were short, and put him on and says, well, he's there, he's been doing all right in training, we'll fling him on and see what we've got, because we don't have an option. But I think that may have brought him, having such a decent performance, he may have thought, yeah, well, I'll have to think about that a bit more.
Yeah.
Well said, guys. Final word in terms of predictions, Rudy?
I'm going to go for a 3-1 to me, True.
Okay, pal. Yourself, Shadow?
Well, I'm going to go for 3-0. I'm feeling quite confident today, and I'd just like to say thank you to yourself for stepping in there, True.
Well done, True.
It's such short notice, and also as well, I think everybody will do a big vote of thanks to Old School Blue for stepping in at such short notice and making it work for us and make sure there was a show.
Well done, guys. Well done to you.
Well said, lads. Thank you for that. And I think just to echo your sentiments regarding Old School Blue, come on, he didn't have passwords or anything else. So I think he took a hammer and a chisel to the keyboard and got a show going anyway. But in terms of that, we'll be back hopefully 15 minutes after the final whistle. So this has been Rangers Radio. I'd like to thank everybody for listening on YouTube, on Twitter, and in the lobby here on the Bears. So see you soon, about 15 minutes after the final whistle. Bye.
They come from all of Glasgow, they come from near and far, they come from from every Highland glen, from here to Lochnacar. They sailed from dear old Belfast to the bonny banks of Clyde. They gather round to Timeless Park and loudly sing with pride. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E-N-R-N-S. In case you didn't catch it, friend, now set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E-N-R-N-S. To the boys in blue of Ibrox High, the Scotland's very best. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E-N-R-N-S. In case you didn't catch a friend, or set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E-N-R-N-S. To the boys in blue of Ibrox High, the Scotland's very best. Aye, there's Richie Shearer, Robin, John Craig McKinnon too. There's Baxter, Henderson, George McLean, they proudly wear the blue. There's Miller, Brandon, Wilson, what better could you want? Plus 70,000 Rangers fans that proudly sing this chant. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E-N-R-N-S. In case you didn't catch a friend, or set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E-N-R-N-S. To the boys in blue of Ibrox High, the Scotland's very best. Richie Shearer, Robin, John Craig McKinnon too. There's Baxter, Henderson, George McLean, they proudly wear the blue. There's Miller, Brandon, Wilson, what better could you want? Plus 70,000 Rangers fans that proudly sing this chant. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E-N-R-N-S. In case you didn't catch a friend, or set your mind at rest. Oh yes, R-E-N-G-E-N-R-N-S. To the boys in blue of Ibrox High, the Scotland's very